Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
A terrifying encounter with a dog that wasn't on a leash has one area woman wanting to pass along a reminder that could keep pets and pet owners safe. Good evening and thank you for joining us. A Fargo woman called our whistleblower hotline after a scare while out on a walk with her dogs. She says an unleashed dog approached her and her dogs, scaring all three of them, all while its owner looked on with little concern. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker talks to someone who says the chances of having dog encounters like this one would decrease if people followed leash laws.
Many dog owners say it's just another day in the park when they see someone's dog not on a leash.
I guess I've never really noticed anybody too enforceful on it. Especially in this area, I see a lot of people just let their dogs run up to the fence.
That's despite the fact cities across the valley have leash laws on the books.
What the leash law states is that any dog or cat has to be on a physical leash when it's off of the individual's property. That leash has to be 6 feet or less. Electronic leashes are not considered a leash.
In Fargo, a citation for not having your pooch or kitten on a leash will send you to a judge, who can impose a fine of $50 or more, depending on how many times you've been cited for not leashing your pet. Trista Stock adopted her dog months ago. Stock says having her dog on a leash is the only way they go out in public.
I just never know what she's gonna do, because they're kind of unpredictable. They have different temperaments. They are very playful. And they're basically just humans in dog form.
And if you don't feel like putting a leash on your pet, you always have this option.
Dogs and cats can be on that person's property without a leash on, as long as that dog's been trained not to go past the sidewalk.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
Along with leashing up your pets, Fargo police want to remind people don't leave your animals, or your children for that matter, in hot cars. Even on days when most of us would consider it mild, it can be dangerously hot in a car that's turned off, even with the windows down. A woman who was kicked out of a Garth Brooks concert because she used the men's restroom is now being reimbursed by the Fargo Dome after she called our whistleblower hotline. The Fargo Dome sent Samantha Berg this letter with a check for $174, saying they investigated the incident, and although details couldn't be completely confirmed, they wanted to close the matter by sending Berg a refund check. Berg is planning to attend a different Garth Brooks concert in Las Vegas around the 4th of July weekend. This woman contacted our whistleblower hotline. If you need help with an issue in your community, call the number on your screen, 237-6576, and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. A Minnesota man admits to setting a Somali restaurant in Grand Forks on fire, which is considered a federal hate crime. 25-year-old Matthew Gust of East Grand Forks pleaded guilty today to the hate crime in addition to arson. The maximum sentence for the two charges is up to 30 years in prison. Authorities say the December fire at the Juba Coffee House was started by a homemade explosive, which caused at least $90,000 worth of damage. Inexpensive home drug tests have become popular with parents, but are they accurate or just cheap? Tonight only on Valley News Live 10 at 10, what happened when we put these tests to the test? Plus the warning from experts about their use. It is going to be easier for you to get rid of those expired or no longer in use prescription drugs you may have in your house. North Dakota is expanding its Take Back program. 28 pharmacies in the state are places where you can get rid of those drugs and perhaps at the same time help keep them out of the wrong hands. Just look for these yellow bins. Governor Jack Dalrymple says this program is a high priority.
People believe that somehow these are not illegal drugs. They've been prescribed for someone, and therefore it's not the same thing as buying a drug on the street. It's a serious misconception. These drugs are every bit as dangerous as something that can be bought from a drug dealer.
In addition to the participating pharmacies, you can bring your pharmaceuticals to police departments in Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead for disposal. As for the needles, which have turned up as of late in the metro area, in Fargo and Cass County, you're advised to leave them and report them to law enforcement. In Moorhead, if they're yours, police say to carefully dispose of them, making sure no one comes in contact with them. A few pop-up showers around the area, but still a great day out there. Is there anything to worry about for tonight? Here's Hutch Johnson with a look at the forecast.
Other than worrying about burning the casserole, it's not too bad out there. You may need the umbrella if you're playing some outdoor activities tonight. It does look like we have a couple of strikes of lightning here and there. And on the Minnesota side of the river, we're seeing a few of these fast-moving, quick-hitting thunder showers. Here's a look a little closer east of Fargo in toward Detroit Lakes, moving up toward near Fosston and Ada, some showers. Grand Forks, a sprinkle right now, moving to the north, as well as Grafton. You'll be seeing some sprinkles move through. Make sure the windows in your car are rolled up and the lid is up on the convertible. And taking a look a little farther south, we have a few showers to the eastern side of Becker County. Temperatures in the 70s, dropping into the 60s by bedtime tonight. It will remain breezy. Andrea, we've had gusts over 30 miles per hour. Take a look at Breckenridge. Do you see it there on the map, Andrea? Breckenridge?
Sure, I do.
All right, here's some video from earlier today. I was out talking weather with some first graders, and boy, did we have a lot of fun out there. We talked about weather, we talked about clouds, how to stay safe in summer weather in the valley. So it was a lot of fun. And
They
hi to
look
all
fun.
you kids. Yeah, they were a
Nice.
great time. So
Good.
all
Okay,
right,
thank you.
You bet.
All right, mosquito season is just about here, and Vector Control is ready for the battle. The director of Cass County Vector Control, Ben Prather, says as of right now, no mosquitoes in the area are the types that would carry the Zika virus. But the crew is still out checking mosquito populations. Because of the lack of rain, the counts are currently low.
We're still waiting for that first big spring rainfall that will really start amplifying the conditions for mosquitoes to be breeding, and hopefully by that time we're ready to go and prepared to fight those things off in standing water sites and get them before they ever become a problem.
The best way to protect yourself from West Nile, Zika virus, and other diseases that mosquitoes carry is to wear bug spray with DEET in it. A party at the Crookston American Legion Club is just wrapping up at this hour. Today marks a major milestone for a member of its Veterans Coffee Club. Today is Alan Peterson's 100th birthday. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson looks back on the life of this amazing World War II veteran.
When Valley City native Alan Peterson was born 100 years ago today, World War I was raging in Europe. And here at home, most people either walked or rode horses for transportation.
On December 7th, 41, Pearl Harbor Day, I immediately told my wife that I was going in right away.
Peterson was already 25 years old and had been working as a teacher for 5 years when he enlisted in the Army for World War II. He served in North Africa and Italy during the Battle of Anzio, where he lost many friends.
One night, they got 17 in one bombing one night. 4 killed and the rest of them were wounded. But it was tough going.
Peterson spent most of his working life managing case implement dealerships, along with being a master gardener. He and his late wife Frida donated this garden plot to UMC after spending years donating the produce from their gardens to the community.
We invited people to come over and get things. We had pretty good traffic in the fall at our place.
So how many years did you give away produce?
Oh, about 30, 35.
So, what's the secret to his long life? Well, Peterson says he quit smoking back in the 1930s, and he hasn't had any alcohol since he was 81 years old.
I don't know. I get quite a bit of exercise. I take exercise five mornings a week here. And even when I was working on the road, I tried to get quite a bit of exercise.
Whatever the secret, it's working for Alan Peterson. In Crookston, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Peterson joined a very exclusive club today. In the entire population of the United States, there are only 55,000 people who are 100 or older. The TSA is promising to ease those long lines that are enraging airline passengers nationwide. They want to send agents to airports like Chicago's O'Hare to help with a flood of passengers there during the summer travel season. And it could involve agents from Minneapolis-St. Paul. MSP is a top candidate because by TSA's staffing formula, MSP is overstaffed. However, several metropolitan airports commissioners believe MSP needs more screeners as it approaches a busy summer season. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has ordered a massive land and sea search to locate debris from the Egypt Air plane that disappeared early today. In a statement issued by his office, the president also ordered an investigation into the cause of the plane's disappearance. The Egypt Air Flight 804, carrying 66 passengers and crew from Paris to Cairo, disappeared from radar in what Egypt said could have been a terrorist attack. Initially, rescue workers thought they had found debris from the plane, but officials say it doesn't belong to an aircraft. There's a